Attention, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Category 3 hose mad alarm. I repeat, Category 3 hose mad alarm. This is not a drill.
America will start winning again. Winning like never before. I will never, ever let you down.
Hearts and minds. Fuck hearts and minds.
This is Donald Trump's house, brother.
It's not gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. No, it's not. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna hurt you a lot more than it hurts me. And you earned this.
I will always give you my love.
We're not here to help. We're here to laugh.
Good evening, everyone. It's the Geek-Posium here, and it's going to be a wonderful day. We have some of the most serious and unserious news around for this weekend.
Including like two legal things that happened that are both one's very serious and one's very unserious.
Yep, and so before we go into the ridiculousness, if you like our content, this is the Geek-Posium. We will talk about anime news, gaming news, and tech news. Today's a gaming and tech news heavy weekend, mostly because just everything going on is
Everything's
happening.
going on in the legal world.
Yep.
I forgot one thing. I forgot about the Gamers Nexus suit.
I've completely blanked on that because I just don't care that much because we've got Elon Musk and Aspen Gold fighting on the internet,
Fighting each other.
Yeah, like listen. Elon, everyone's calling Elon a fake gamer because he probably is allegedly he had someone boost his character in Path of Exile 2, and my response is I don't care. I just don't care. I don't I don't care. I do not care. If Elon is in fact boosting his character, I don't care. All right, can he play the game well enough to do end stage combat?
That's what matters.
That's honestly what matters. I don't really care if he's got someone boosting his character or not. And it could be the fact that I'm used to playing WoW where someone would show up and you'd be like, how do you not know about like mid-tier stuff? But they're good.
Someone to boost their character.
Yeah, but they know their rotation well enough to play well, and that's all that's all I really care about. Like I don't care about anything else. Like, boo-hoo.
As long as it's not because as long as like it could also be that the game got too easy to the point that you don't know about mid-tier shit because you never had to use it.
Maybe, I don't know.
WoW SWTOR got so easy that when I recently played it and I played a new class, I didn't learn any of the mid-tier stuff because I never used it until I got to the final boss of my class story and I got of the counselor story and I got fucking wrecked because it used a mechanic that I had never used before.
That'll happen.
It's like I don't know what I'm doing. Delay? What do you mean delay? I've never had to use delay.
So that was going on. While that was going on, Aspen Gold was like whatever, blah blah blah, and then somehow Aspen lost his check mark for a little while for some reason, and I go I don't really care whatever the hell happened there, and then Elon leaked his DMs between the two of them, and apparently as Aspen Gold, who he streams on Twitch. And he's big enough that he has editors who take care of his entire YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so he was just like, yeah, like I don't handle my YouTube channel. My editors deal with all that. They're the ones who run the YouTube channel. And Elon's like, see, as we go not his old man, he's got editors. I'm like, it's not the same thing as like editors in the press, Elon.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. That's not how that works. But so like whatever, Elon spurging over stupid crap like that, I don't care. I do not care. I could give a rat's butt,
It's
My general feeling on that. In other light news, Sox VTuber agency fired Inez today.
yeah, that was
Two out
weird.
2 hours before her meet and greet, which she didn't do apparently. And I was like, okay,
Weird.
weird. And Inez uses the word terminated, and I'm like, okay, there we are.
Okay.
It was because Inez put out like a schedule for like the meet and greet, letting people know when to see her for
Yeah.
like because she was on the schedule at KawaiCon or something. I don't remember what the hell the name of the
Something.
con was, but some con this weekend. I want to say KawaiCon, KAWA.
Yeah.
Wrong. Um, well, they were gonna do like a meet and greet on like at like noon, and like 2 hours before then,
She got fired.
yeah, like Sox put out a notification. She put out a notification. She did a stream at her normal stream time. And I was like, okay, this is all very weird.
A little bit.
And like people were asking, and she's like, I can't say nothing. Like it was mutual thing. I own my own IP because Sox has, as far as I can tell, Sox is has a adapt a adaptation of two different types of VTubers. One where they make a VTuber for you, and
At
like
which point they own the IP.
they own the IP for it, or they have what they call adopting a VTuber, where they take an established VTuber of some kind, and they in turn again share revenue based on something.
Right.
And how that all happened, no clue. No one's saying anything. No one's telling us what happened, who broke contract first, why contract was broken. No one's saying.
No one said anything.
No one has said anything. Like I do not know. I do not know. Maybe her contract was up and they were negotiating and they couldn't come to a final term. I don't know. I have no idea.
Who knows?
It could have just been really bad timing all around. I do not know. But like weirdest thing in the world. And I go, Inez, that's fine. I'm already in your Discord, so I'm gonna get all the weird voicemail messages at 3 a.m. now. Still, once again.
Again.
Well, it never stopped. It never stopped. I was
Never
like,
stops.
I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Inez, you are gonna get people arrested somehow. Stop. You need to stop. Stop. You need to stop. That was an ongoing thing today. What else stupid crap happened today? Nothing I can really think of.
I know Gamers Nexus and Linus Tech Tips are fighting.
Yep.
Because Gamers Nexus sued Honey, which was, if you've been on YouTube, you know what Honey is.
Yeah, the whole Honey controversy.
Yeah, how Honey was hijacking referral links and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Linus Tech Tips got ass mad because they're still not mad over the falling out they had 2 years ago. And Linus Tech Tips used to be sponsored by Honey, and they pretty much said, oh, this isn't a big deal when the controversy came out about Honey, even though they knew about it and didn't tell anybody about it years ago. So Gamers Nexus took a pot shot when they announced their lawsuit, and well, Linus cried about it for a solid 40 minutes last night, it seemed like, on live stream.
Yep, it was weird. I need to look at what the hell happened with Shondo today, because apparently everyone is saying Inez is now Shondo's.
Okay.
So I need to go over that stream at some point in time and be like, what the fuck is everyone talking about? I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. But I had shit to do today.
Yeah. I did too. I had to. The landlord had to come over to take a look at some stuff in my bathroom.
Yep. What else? Oh, the VTuber Tomoe Umari apparently joined the Vadir VTuber group. It's not. It's not.
I thought it was Videre.
Whatever it's called. V-D-E-R-E.
That's Dere.
I don't care.
As in Dere, or
I don't.
Tsundere, or
Don't even listen. Horses, deers, they all have hoofs.
it's not an animal.
I don't care.
It's Dere as in Doki Doki.
Listen, if it wasn't an animal, why are all the girls animal based?
Because they're all animal based.
Exactly.
All of them are.
Not every single
If they're not
VTuber.
animals, they're trees.
They're not all trees.
Although the tree became something else, and I thought she was going away forever.
Okay. Sometimes they're stars, or they're space
dragons.
princesses, or sometimes they're viruses, sometimes they're bugs. But in this group, they're all animals. So I just go deer. If you didn't want to be called deer, you should have had a non-mammal in there somewhere. Anyway, the point of this being, I was weirded. I was like, oh, that's weird, because I know Tomoe apparently works for the U.S. government. She's very open about that, and she's like, I can't really join a corporation because I have a long-standing contract with the U.S. military.
She's not. She wasn't just. I thought she was, if not active duty, she was at least reserve.
She is not in the military, but she works with the military to the point where if the military goes to war, her system would have her have to transfer over to any major combat area. So as far as I can tell, that's like some kind of civilian contractor that moves with the unit. Which we had a few mechanics like that.
Yeah. They're a thing.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, okay, so that's a thing.
If you don't think they're a thing, remember we can put a Burger King in a C-130 and rapidly deploy it to a combat zone.
Yeah, yeah. I forget that we can actually do that. That's kind of obnoxious.
You haven't seen pictures of the Burger King, the clearly marked Burger King container being pulled out of C-130 in the sandbox.
Dude, my brain is fried. I watched the Jelly all animal sound ASMR video.
Why?
Because I had to know if she kept her promise. Because she made a promise to Stream and God that if she got some rare item in Path of Exile 2, she would do a full animal sound ASMR.
Props to her.
And she did it. And it was the weirdest, cringiest thing I've ever watched. But she did it for like 2 hours. And I'm like, okay. Congratulations. Like the fact that Jelly doesn't have any technical issues, but like other Phase Connect members are like, this is broken, and I'm like, okay, all right, there we are, okay. But Jelly who lives in a Wawa land, because they won't say where, and I'm like, somewhere in Southeast Asia, probably, I don't know. No, I'm just saying, probably. Oh Lord in heaven! Just animal sounds for 2 hours.
I wonder, did that break her audience more, or did it break her more?
It definitely broke her more. There's one thing the Star Knights love, and it is making Jelly uncomfortable. You know who loves making Jelly uncomfortable the most?
Who?
Lumi. Lumi is
You have a
just
thing
like
for Lumi, though.
I do have a thing for Lumi because she has the right voice. But the thing is, Lumi sits there and she goes, you know what I like is when a streamer is uncomfortable. You know who has great content, and she goes, this person. You know who else has great content? Jelly's always uncomfortable as hell. And I'm like Lumi, you're the one causing all this damage, aren't you? You're on like some alt account middle of the night, suggesting the weirdest fucking shit. It's you, isn't it? It's fucking you.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
Oh, that's what I'm just like, okay, that'll work. That'll work. Hi Elon, what's up? Okay, he's talking government. All right.
Doge.
Yep. Anything else?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay. Oh, and
Other
Sheena.
than I might be a very happy person tomorrow, or I might be dead to the world and completely shit faced.
That'll work.
The skins and the caps are both playing right now.
In a weird bit of OPSEC release, Sheena decided to let everyone know when she arrived in South Korea, and like whatever town she's in before she leaves it. I'm like, Sheena, I understand that you being a small Asian woman makes it hard for everyone to find you, but like, don't tempt fate.
Don't tempt fate.
Don't tempt fate. All right?
Asian VTuber fans are really good at finding people.
VTuber fans in general are very good at finding. Do not tempt fate.
Don't tempt fate.
All right. We don't need that in our life. Okay. I think that's it. You want to get into the articles? You got something else for us?
Let's get started.
Okay.
Especially since the first article is kind of a doozy, as you can see. But I just want to point out, pure curium, that means it was the 9-0.
Yep, that is a unanimous decision. If you don't know.
But at the same time, it means no one wanted to put their name on this. So we don't know who actually wrote this because it's pure curium. But this is the entire court saying TikTok's banned, yo.
Well, here's the thing: it was put in a bill, voted on by Congress, and then the Senate, and then signed by the president.
Signed by the president. It still could have violated the First Amendment, but as we see, this just goes through.
Other governments do not have First Amendment rights in our country.
They do, though. However, this just goes through as like it describes what TikTok is, describes what bike dance is. It also goes through the history of how Trump tried to ban it. It got overturned by the court. Biden tried to negotiate. With ByteDance to divest, and kept on running into a wall because ByteDance didn't want to give up one of their spying tools, and so Congress was forced to act.
Yep. Now,
and it goes through what the law actually is, both that it's TikTok directly and also what a cover company is, which means they're coming for Redbook. Redbook is when Redbook hits 1 million monthly active users. Redbook is next.
Oh yeah.
Also, that the president can issue a 90-day extension because Trump wants to be known as a deal maker. He's already signaling that he's gonna try giving a 90-day extension when he first thing to try to make a deal happen. That's probably.
So let's stop for a second. Let's start right there. I'm not sure if that's going to matter or not. TikTok has stated they're
not interested in a deal, so it's not going to matter.
they're not interested in a deal. First of all, like a couple of different people have gone forward trying to buy TikTok to have it divested. Mark Cuban went over there, Mr. Beast, a few other tech big names have tried. Like a lot of people have said, listen, just do it, like just divest. And I think that we should understand is that they don't want to.
They don't want to.
And I
which
think
is
the reason is for the same reason Twitter didn't want to sell to Elon. It's not an app, it's a crime scene.
yes. And by not doing it, they're actually, especially because they're getting shut down. There's a lawsuit. There's a lawsuit possible. There's probably a lawsuit possible that they're committing. That the board of ByteDance is not is violating their fiduciary non-interest, their fiduciary responsibilities to the minority shareholders.
Oh yeah,
to
absolutely.
To maximize profit. Which
Yeah,
the purpose of a corporation is to maximize profit for all shareholders.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. This quote unquote ban doesn't really stop TikTok from operating. TikTok, the app, can still operate. They cannot operate on major app stores.
It can't be on app stores. You can't act. I've read the act. You can't access it with an ISP. You can't access it with a VP. Can't access it with VPN.
Yep.
That's how far any internet company is prevented from enabling access to TikTok.
Yep.
And the VPN portion of that scares me. It doesn't say VPN, it just says internet service companies.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
they're probably not going to go after VPNs though.
No, they're probably going to leave the VPNs alone. But the overall thing is there would be a technology way around it. But TikTok's response to this was, we will just shut down our servers entirely.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Anywho, so the court goes and they rule that, or they reason that, okay, because this touches the First Amendment, even though it's not directly, because it implicates the First Amendment, even though it's not hurting speech, it could have an effect on speech. It has to go under intermediate scrutiny. And first, they have to go under increased scrutiny, so they determine whether it's intermediate scrutiny or strict scrutiny. They determine that it's intermediate scrutiny because it's content neutral. And there's the reasoning that it's intermediate scrutiny. And they explain what intermediate scrutiny is. And they go through the reasons because it's foreign adversary controlled. They also go through how TikTok argued that it's content based on its face, but no, it applies to tech because there is an exclusion. There's an exclusion in the act carved out for Temu and Alibaba. But it's like, no,
okay.
Even though there's an exclusion carved out, and that's content based. As applied to TikTok, it is content neutral. It doesn't matter what you put on TikTok. TikTok is banned.
Yep.
And so it is not even. So of course, we're not even going to go to that analysis because this is only as applied to TikTok. But it also goes into how it requires divestiture. So it's not. It wasn't a ban on speech. It's do this or you're banned.
Yep.
And how it goes into why it's necessary for national security purposes.
I mean, China. This does affect 4 different countries. If they had a similar app: Russia, China, Iran, and what's the 4th one? North Korea. Okay.
It also, one of the things they argued is, the Chinese government doesn't have to steal data. Doesn't have to use TikTok to steal data because they have better means of doing it. And what the court said is that's not what Congress found. We have to defer to Congress's findings. And even if they haven't done it yet, Congress is allowed to forecast. just look at something and say this is possible and ban it to prevent it.
Yep.
So they go, yeah, it's nearly tailored. I'm just going through my highlights real fast. They've also like this is a unique thing. They've never had to determine scrutiny for an app before. This is new ground, but they punted on it. Or where was it? They decide like, okay, if we're going to do an app, is this going to be strict scrutiny or intermediate scrutiny, or is it rational basis? And they said we assumed without deciding, because they don't want to create a test. They don't want to create precedent for future laws, because this is such a unique situation, and bad facts make bad law.
So we cannot have that.
So then we get into the concurrences. Sotomayor said some shit that I didn't really care about, because she killed baseball. She tried to kill baseball, so fuck her. And then Gorsuch pretty much wrote a libertarian's dream of a concurrence that upheld it. Pretty much he said, okay, we're not going to talk about the propaganda part, because, quote, one man's covert content manipulation is another's editorial discretion. And he said he applauded the court for not ruling on the manipulation part, and just sticking to the identity theft portions.
Yes.
He also said he was pleased with that the court declined to consider the classified evidence the government put in their briefs. If you've read the government's briefs, there was an awful lot of black ink, and that was some bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Now, to play devil's advocate, there was a lot to play devil's advocate on the part of the government. There's a lot of classified stuff about what exactly TikTok does, and to put that in, that would have made the case a lot stronger for the government. However, they didn't want to give up sources
sensitive data.
Yep, and they didn't want to give up how we know that, because you have to give that to the opposing party. And Gorsuch correctly says, no, if you're going to use this evidence, you have to give it to the opposing party. And it has to be in the record. So
even without that,
the court threw all of that out, and he still found that. He also said he didn't think it that intermediate scrutiny applied. He thought strict scrutiny applied, but whatever the tier of scrutiny, it met that tier of scrutiny. Because this was serving a sufficiently necessary purpose, and it was as narrowly tailored as it needed to be. So I would if you're of the libertarian persuasion, I would definitely recommend reading Gorsuch's concurrence in full.
Yep. So while a lot of people are screaming up and down, jumping like crazy, I know I've seen 20 or 30 different posts about how to access a VPN so you can get on TikTok. And my response
they're going to shut them down Sunday night.
And my response was, on January 19th, they're shutting everything down. Like, I don't know what
they're shutting everything down.
Like, what are you expecting to be able to do on the 20th? Like, what are you expecting to do? Now, the funniest thing about this is watching the protesters who are going to live stream everything on TikTok. How they're like, where are we going to live stream now?
That's been funny.
We were going to protest against fascism, and now we can't because of fascism. I'm like, that's not how that works. No one gives you the right to live stream.
And there are other places you can do that. You can live stream. You can live stream on Twitch. You can live stream on YouTube.
You
You
can
just have
live
to play
stream.
by their rules. You can
You
live
can
stream
live.
on Rumble. You have to play by their rules.
You can live stream on X. You can live stream on Kick if you want. Just play by the rules. But tell you right now, the reason why these people all wanted to do this on TikTok was because TikTok has a weird amount of people who all of a sudden will watch you, don't say nothing except for weird little yeah, woo, yeah. I'm like, okay, these are bots. These aren't real people.
Yeah.
These are not like I don't care how much people will sit there and tell me, no, you don't understand. I get far more traffic on TikTok than anywhere else. I'm going, I don't think that's real.
I don't think that's bots. And
Like,
then you'll get monetized, which is like, yeah, they might be bullshitting that monetization and paying you for shit that's not real because they want you on there and they want other people on there.
And at the same time, slowly grooming you because most people will end up getting audience captured.
Yeah.
So if you get enough bots leaning in one direction, oopsie.
Oops.
That's something that's going on there. But I'm watching VTubers screaming to the high wind. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? And I think my response has been literally, why don't you divest into other streaming
platforms.
services right now? Like right now.
Yeah.
Let your audience know where you will be, and if they are real, they will be there.
They're not going to be able to access to you on TikTok anyway, so they're going to follow it. They have to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
If they are real, they have to follow you now.
That's all there is to it.
Or you could sign up. You could get your audience to sign up for Grey J. It doesn't matter where you are; they'll have access to you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Thank you, Louis Strassman.
There you are.
Also, related to this, I don't have an article for it, but it was awfully funny. As soon as the DC Circuit ruled about this, there was another app ready to go. That translated into Redbook, as in Mal's little Redbook.
Yep.
And it was similar format, except there wasn't any separation between Chinese users and American users. And it's like, oh, we're gonna actually use the real Chinese propaganda app. And then it started to backfire.
So China don't like gay people. China no like gay people. So like all of the trans people posts immediately started getting flagged and taken down, accounts
Not
suspended.
initially, because they had to hand flag them.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first couple of days, like, oh, there's plenty of LGBT stuff on here. It's like they haven't built their algorithm out yet. It's coming. There are bans happening. I know people have been banned already.
Oh yeah. And it's fun to watch. My favorite
thing to watch though, it's like seeing Chinese people ask, wait, you don't have to work weekends? Like, yeah, because I'm union. It's like, what do you mean union? And then, yeah, I have don't you have unions in China? We group together and we group together and negotiate with our boss about how we're being treated. Like, oh,
no,
you're gonna get people killed.
No.
So the PRC.
That will get those people killed. You shouldn't do that. Absolutely not. That's not how that works. It's not how that works.
And then GunTubers got on there and started showing Chinese users how to use 3D printers to make guns.
That didn't last long, I'm sure.
It still happened.
Okay. So
but needless to say, the developers are struggling to find more people who speak English for censorship, and they're trying to find a way to split the servers now.
I mean, last I heard that they were already working on that.
They're trying to find a way. They're working on it.
It shouldn't be that hard because you can separate by IP
Yeah, you can
based on
separate by
location.
IP,
So it would not be that hard.
but VPNs can also. Oh, I want to talk to the friends I made in China. Change your IP.
Well, from what I remember, one guy was like really excited to because like he got a bunch of followers, and he found out it was just a bunch of gay
Bob.
Chinese men
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
hitting on him. And he's just like, thanks, fellas. I'm not gay, and I'm like, dude, you look gay. I understand why they assume you're gay. Oopsie.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. He's just like, I don't know how to report these people because everything's in Mandarin, and I go, I too cannot read Mandarin.
You don't want to report them anyway. That would be. Don't you know what happens if you report them for that?
You think white people care?
No,
Exactly.
they don't.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, next up, more legal news. Hentai has been sued for copyright infringement. Unfortunately, PCR Distributing, supposed parent company of Jazz USA, was sued in Hentai, screwed up their lawsuit
Severely.
Like, before they filed suit, they didn't make sure that they were on record as being the owners of Jazz USA.
And they were not on record for that.
They weren't on record, so they weren't the so they're suing over things that they're not on paper the owners of.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jazz USA had Jazz USA staff at one point gave Hentai permission in exchange for ad space.
Yep.
There's also there's also confusion on what's at Jazz USA or PCR screwed up their copyright paperwork. They had it as literary works and not comics, which literary works explicitly exclude images. So it's like, okay, so the text is copyrighted, but the images aren't.
Yep.
So it's a complete and the statute of limitations is run.
Yep. So
and then they also included hentai.tl, which is
unrelated website.
Unrelated website. It's a clone of the website, but it's run by somebody else in a different country. So this is a clown show all the way around.
This has been the fun. Like, I saw this show up on Twitter, and I was just laughing my head off. I just began, because how do you?
It's funny. It gets funnier if you actually understand the law. It's like, wow. They're PCR Distributing may have a suit against their lawyers for this bullshit.
My favorite part about all of this is this was all filed in California, I believe, where it should have been a slam dunk.
It's the Ninth Circuit. There's been a lot. The Ninth Circuit's actually pretty is the Ninth Circuit when it comes to copyright is kind of on the ball these days.
All right. Well,
anything involving freedom, anything involving freedom, you can't trust the Ninth Circuit. But copyright, Ninth Circuit's pretty much on the ball these days because that's where Silicon Valley is.
Yeah, so it should have been a general slam dunk. Unfortunately, this is just such a clusterfuck. I'm sure that the judge is just gonna go, wow, no, get out. No, get out of my courtroom. The hell.
Here's actually the Here's actually the email where that they got permission.
I still can't believe like they were just like, by the way, we have permission for that one. I believe it also like lacked specificity. It didn't name specific comics or whatever. They were just like all of them. And they're just like, we have permission for a lot of these. What do you mean all of them?
Oh, one of their remedies was we want access to the entire domain when the website hosts over 500,000 pages, but they only claimed ownership of less than 1% of it. Like
Yeah, no.
that's not an equitable remedy. I mean, that's an equitable in the court of equity. That's an equitable remedy, but whether that's not an equal remedy,
No, it is not.
that's not quote fair and equitable unquote. That's
Nope.
bullshit.
They tried. Like if they had said, listen, we're just going to DMCA claim all these, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. We will take them down. Like that would have been my overall response was, okay, I will take these down, no big deal, right?
Yeah,
but they went straight.
And Hentai probably would have taken them down, or put a note saying that this has been DMCA claimed. We're challenging it, but we can't show it right now.
Yeah. But what would have happened there is they probably would have just taken them like, okay, oops, we no longer have permission. Understood. We will remove, or whatever. But instead, they went all the way to the courts where like these people are stealing our stuff. We want their domain. I'm like, didn't we just see this with itch.io like not long ago?
Yeah. And when you go for a big remedy like that, you got to make sure your I's are not in T's crossed. Otherwise, you're just gonna get clowned on.
And these guys got clowned on. I can't wait to watch JST. Like we're gonna DMCA this. No, you guys are a clown show. I think we can win this fight.
It also sucks as JAST has brought over a lot of good shit.
They have, absolutely. I have bought more than a couple of Arrow games on JST. I have, and I've when before anime was like published here in America, I got a lot of different animes that had English subtitles from JST. They didn't have the dubbing, but they had the subtitling in there.
Subs.
And I was like, okay, cool, awesome. But I mean, that's how I got
it was them and
Ano's greatest shoujo anime ever, or His and Her Circumstances. Which I forgot he had directed till I was fucking. I need to stop talking in Dizzy's chat because she'll bring up an anime and then I'll bring up an anime and then the two of us will just tangent back and forth, and I'm like, this feels like we're talking to each other, but I know the rest of chat is there chiming in. I don't know what it is about my name, but it makes all the VTuber girls go aha, and I go, stop staring at my shit. I understand that. Like, stop it. You're making me feel interesting. Like I feel interesting here. Stop making me feel interesting. I'm not interesting. Go away. I'm talking about His and Her Circumstances. No one remembers that show because it ended with literally popsicles.
Yes.
Ano, notorious for spending too much of his budget, spent too much of his budget and ended the show with popsicles. And I mean that literally. It was literally popsicle, like drawn characters on popsicle sticks moving around.
Because that's what Ano does. We've seen the end of it. We've seen the last 2 episodes of Evangelion.
What happened here, Ano? I was out of ideas and out of budget. So here you go.
The thing is, they weren't out of budget. They just Ano just wanted it to just couldn't end it. How do I put it? Normally. Because how do you end? How do you give Shinji a happy ending in 2 episodes after he's forced to flop the head off the only person who's ever cared about him?
You make him time loop forever for like 20 years, and then you give him the ending. That's how you do it.
Oh yeah, and you actually
you
you give him an older girl who no one's ever seen before.
Listen, it was the only girl that wasn't his mom.
But she was friends with his mom.
But it wasn't his mom. Every other girl in that series is his mom. Sometimes literally, sometimes just emotionally, but every woman there was his mom.
What's even frustrating was when they said, "Oh, what's the difference between Asuka Soryu and Asuka Shikinami?" It's like, "Oh, Shikinami's a offshoot of Rei." No! Why you do this?
Because it's funny. Anyway, what's next?
So there's issues with RTX 50 series.
The GTX 50 series, which is upwards of $1,000 for projected sales cost right now, can't run Cyberpunk 2077 at 30 FPS. They can't do it. If you put on all the doodads, all the ray tracing, all the nonsense, it peaks at about 27 frames per second. Why does it do that? Because I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know how you build something that's supposed to be better than all your other chips and you manage to make it run like shit.
Well, that's partially because one, they're pushing the DLSS with DLSS, it'll run at 290. Without DLSS, keep on adding more and more tech, and Cyberpunk keeps adding in that tech because the game is because they want the game to be the whatchamacallit,
the time crisis of our time.
The crisis of our time. They keep on upgrade. That's the only reason Cyberpunk upgrades, and he was like, "Oh, Nvidia's got this new technology. We just added that in."
Well,
so because this is path tracing's the latest and greatest update to ray tracing. Another step for technology, but it's new. It's still new, so of course it's not going to work great out of the box, even with a 5090.
Here's my issue.
Here's another generation to cook.
Here's my issue. I've been playing the Batman Arkham games again, and those look beautiful and they're very well done, and everything is right there. And my
Except
30,
Arkham City, which took years to unfuck.
No, Arkham City is fine too. There's nothing wrong with it.
Was it Arkham Knight?
Nope, Arkham Knight was also fine.
No, there was an Arkham game that was unplayable for years on PC. Yes, there was.
Not one that I can think of.
Yes, there was. Arkham unplayable. Arkham Knight was unplayable.
Why was it unplayable? Because that worked out of the box for me.
It was Arkham Knight was unplayable on PC out of the box.
Okay.
Because it looked okay on console because everything was pre-rendered. But you can't pre-render everything for PC.
Why not? I don't understand.
Because every PC is a slightly different setup. With a console, you're targeting one CPU running at one specific range, or you're targeting one specific GPU with so many GPU cores, running this specific firmware. Everything will run right out of the box. All you got to do is target that, pre-render that, and you're good to go. When you make a PC game, you don't know whether it's going to be Radeon, whether it's going to be NVIDIA. You don't know what generation of NVIDIA or Radeon it's going to be. You don't know even if it's X86 you know it's going to be an x86 chip, but you don't know whether it's going to be Ryzen
I
or it's going to be Intel, and they're all slightly different. That if they're optimized,
none of that makes sense.
they're optimized slightly differently. There's two.
So
You don't know how much RAM they have. You don't know how much
none of that
VRAM
makes sense.
they have.
None of that makes sense. 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 Because you had 2 other Arkham games that worked without any issues. There was not a huge upgrade in tech or in the Arkham games in that time frame. So none of that makes sense. Someone dropped the ball there in the programming sphere.
I'm saying that they drop. I'm saying that they dropped the ball.
It makes no
it
sense.
happened.
But the overall point I'm making is, I play games that are 10 plus years old without any issues, and they look better than the games that are out now.
Yes. There are games that came out 10 years ago that look better than the games that are coming out now.
And I think at this point, it's because programmers don't know how to properly optimize games. And I think
they stopped learning that 10, 15 years ago. Arkham Knight was 10 years ago.
That's probably where the problem started. Right there.
But that's always been an issue. As the saying goes, what more giveth, Gates taketh away.
It's the dumbest thing.
People have been bitching that they don't know how to optimize code since the 90s, Darren.
Well, it's not just the code. It's the amount of assets they throw into these things that are unnecessary. I mean, Silent Hill is the Silent Hill 2 remake was pretty much unplayable for the first month for a lot of people because it was not properly optimized for most PCs.
Yes.
It ran into the exact same issue. And I'm sitting there going, okay, that's weird. Why didn't they test this for multiple types of hardware? Did they they tested for the highest hardware that they could, and they went go.
Now, one thing you'll find is if you play the first time you'll play a game or you download a new level or whatever, with a lot of these games, it'll run like ass. But the second and third time it gets better, and that's because what a lot of times they'll do is with the graphics data, it won't compile until you hit that level for the first time,
Which is weird.
and so it'll just eat up cycles compiling everything for the first time, and then when you go back to it, we've seen this before, we can play it.
Yeah. So the weird part about all of that is that's done by multi-billion-dollar AAA gaming studios. 2 Russian dudes in their basement with 1/100th of the budget made a game that runs smoothly with no issues and perfectly optimized on the first go, called My Side. Now, granted, it's like 6 hours long tops, but
and it doesn't have super realistic graphics, but it doesn't need that. And people are forgetting to have a fun game, you don't need super realistic graphics.
And what's funny is
they're trying to update the graphics right now in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and they're making things a lot worse.
They need to
Because the
stop
old
that.
graphics it's like, oh yeah, they're cartoony, but they were fine. They were cartoony on purpose because they wanted to make the game timeless. And by trying to make things more realistic now, you're fucking things up.
Don't forget, they're on like their 3rd remake of The Last of Us because they want to keep making the game look better. And I'm like, stop, just stop, for the love of Christ, stop. Make the game once. If people like the game, they will continue playing the game. If people don't like the game because of the way it looks, they aren't really playing the game.
Yeah.
Now, My Side is fun, and it's a walking simulator. I'm not going to tell you anything else. It is a walking simulator. All right, it is, but it's a fun horror story type thing. It has some thriller aspects to it. There's some ideas as to what is and it's not the soul. Like there's a lot of things.
Club, but instead of a visual novel, it's a 3D adventure game.
Yes, and it's fun. It's fun. I suggest people play it. There's also like little mini games you can play throughout the whole thing, which also add to it. There's also weird parts of the game, like there's a point where you're on a train for some reason, and for some reason the train has a minigun, so you have to shoot down like flying monsters. You don't know why. You don't care why. They're there. You're on the train. There's a big button, and it activates the giant gun. Like, okay, sure. All right. Does it make sense? No. No, it does not make sense. But you're also in a freaking video game, so it doesn't matter. Like there's even dialogue where the character goes, "How does this make sense?" And the my side girl goes, "You're in a video game. Don't try to think too much about it." You know?
Yeah.
You go, "Oh, right. I'm in a game, so yeah, okay, that makes sense." Because most people understand the concept of that. So all of this extra tech that they're throwing at us for $1,000+ and just throwing in more and more and more tech, it's not helping things. It's making the gaming industry worse. It is. So we need to do something about all of this. We need you guys to calm the hell down. Maybe go back to basics. Stop getting your asses beat by indie games that are made for 1/100th of your budget.
Yeah. Or I don't know. Nintendo doing the same shit they've always done.
Or
although Nintendo's lost their way, how many bugs were in fucking Scarlet?
Is that Nintendo losing its way, or is that Niantic losing their way?
Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Scarlet. That was Pokemon. That was the Pokemon company. That was Nintendo.
Okay.
That was Game Freak, which is now known as the Pokemon Company.
All right then.
Not that Game Freak has ever made bug-free software. Looking at you, Mr. Ingno.
I'm like, Pokemon's always been kind of buggy. Like if we really think about it. It's always been buggy. I've always had issues with Pokemon games.
So anywho. Malicious Pipey package steals Discord auth tokens from devs.
I laughed my head off. I laughed.
Be careful of that.
If you are a Discord mod, or anyone who owns their own Discord, please be careful when things sign you into the Discord. Like my Discord password is not saved on my browser for this reason.
Oops.
It's like no, I'm not doing I'm not doing that. And if it gives me like a weird, because maybe I'm paranoid, but whenever I get something from like someone, I type in the address to see if it's real or not. Sometimes they'll send you a hyperlink, and I go, "That's not real."
That's not real.
I've gotten more than a couple of those. I've gotten those from job sites a lot recently, or I'll put in for a job thing. They'll send me back a thing, and I'll go, "Okay, cool," and I'll type in the URL and I'll double check. Go, no, that's correct. I copied it in Notepad. Hey, your URL doesn't work. No, it works. You just click on it. I'll go, no, it's putting me to somewhere that's not where you said it was.
Yeah, that's the .ru domain there, buddy.
I'm like, listen, I don't know what .rs.io is, but I don't want to go on it.
Yeah.
I thought you said I was working for Costco. This is not Costco.
So speaking of cybersecurity, Google's been hacked. 2FA has been hacked.
Yep. Once again, so if you have Google 2A, it's telling everyone to be very careful about how you access your Google account. Once again, this is another reason why
passwords. Make sure you don't. Maybe you start to move to another 2FA solution.
Mm-hmm. What's funny is someone accessed my Crunchyroll account, right? And I'm like, that's weird. and so I changed my password to like one of my other ones I usually use.
Yeah.
And then like a few minutes later, like I'm like, nope. And then I'm like, access again in the same area. I go, okay, fine, fuck you, random, key, like password locker. All right, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Now I've got a ridiculous fucking password. I'm like, yeah, okay, here we go. I don't have that issue no more. I'm like, listen, I don't know who this person is accessing my fucking Crunchyroll account in Chile, but go get your own fucking Crunchyroll account.
Yep.
How about that, buddy? I say, I believe my very first reaction upon seeing that was like I have a friend who I used to house sit for him whenever he would go away for Christmas. So I'd watch his dogs and cats, and I'd leave my Crunchyroll account on his PlayStation 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So I could watch anime between shit. But like I saw that and I'm like, he goes to Chile occasionally, but I don't think he normally takes his PS4. Let me go ahead and contact him fast. Go, hey, are you in Chile? And he goes, no. Go, okay.
Okay. Good to know.
Good to know. Like that's all I need to know. Like, hey, are you here? He goes, no. Okay. And like that's all I wanted.
That's all we need to know.
Like I had already changed the password the first time when I'm like, okay. What? All right. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. So this is not the first time that people have gotten around to 2FA. It happens. It happens pretty often. 2FA, while a better solution, is not perfect. It will never be perfect.
Yep. Just
There is
be aware of it. Be aware of it.
There is no perfect solution beyond constant vigilance.
Next up on the agenda, they've announced a Switch 2.
I saw. Lots of people are complaining that it's called the Switch 2 and not like the Donkey Balls 3000. And I was like, what the heck do you guys want? Like
It's backwards compatible with the Switch. It's backwards compatible with the Switch. It's the same form factor. It's an upgraded Switch, except it's gonna have increased specs.
But it's called the Switch 2. Why is it called something more special? Why? Because the Wii was then called the Wii U. That's why. How about that? Like at least they gave it a 2 instead of like Nintendo DS, the new Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
I was like, you motherfuckers.
Or Nintendo 3DS.
I don't even care.
So the only thing that got me worried is how the Joy-Cons connect, but they've tested that.
They've tested. Remember how everyone was worried about that with the original Switch? They were like, "Oh, these little plastic controllers, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine." My only concern right now is there's no games announced that are like wowie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. I went cool. Switch 2. Until I see a game I care about, I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
Which for me is usually a Zelda game or it's not a platformer anymore. There's very few platformers I like.
Yeah.
Like I used to like playing Nintendo platformers, and I think sometime around Starshine I just stopped caring.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, listen, I can only deal with Mario saving the princess for so long.
So many times.
So many times. I'm kind of tired. What's next?
Our last article, Genshin Impact got hit with a massive fine because gotcha. $20 billion by the FTC.
Wow. Now, if the FTC could just fine EA Games, what?
It wasn't just it wasn't just due to the gotcha, but also how it handled miners' data.
I mean, that's a huge issue. I mean, the FTC also fined China for the Salt Typhoon hack as well.
Yep.
I feel like this is just the FTC being ass mad and just going, listen, China, fuck you. Like they're just going down the line because they've done this to a couple of Chinese companies right now. And I think they're doing it because of the Salt Typhoon hack, and China's going, we had nothing to do with it, and like the U.S. government's going, no, it was you. We know it was you. Okay, don't play the stupid ass game.
One of the things it's cited, and it's when going after Hoyoverse, it was the video where Sniper Wolf wished 12 times to get Zhongli, where he was paid $100,000 to do it on stream by Hoyoverse.
Jesus. All right.
And they weren't a fan that it was weren't a fan that they were seemingly marketing it towards those under 13.
I mean, yeah, that is an ongoing thing. The Genshin Impact is the baby Hoyoverse game. Let's be honest
Yes.
about that right now. All right, that is not for that is for the more childish people to go and enjoy. It's a very childish story. It's very childish character design. There's nothing overtly sexual about it. It's a very kid friendly game. Surprisingly,
There are sexualized characters, but that's not the main focus.
not even sexualized characters. There's very few like busty sexualized characters. It's not. It is not Zentro or Zenless Zone. All right, it's not that. There's more sexualized characters in Star Rail. Star Rail is also very mild.
Yes.
Like out of everything here, Genshin Impact has the least amount of sexualization, but it has the most amount of porn online. And it's all gay. It's all gay porn.
All of it.
All of it. All of it. So many lesbians.
So many.
So many lesbians. And watching Genshin Impact people freak the fuck out when it's canonized that two people are straight. Like, how could you? How could you?
This game's not made for you.
Listen, you don't decide how people feel about each other. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. All right. Okay. That's the way it rolls. That's the way it rolls. But that's people being weird. We wonder.
One thing I forgot about that's not necessarily nerd related, but it is.
What's that?
Have you seen Kiltech's new pistol?
No.
They're releasing a stripper clip loaded 5.7 pistol.
Wait, that's real?
Yes, that's real.
I thought that was someone shit posting.
Oh, that's real.
What the fuck? Okay, no, we don't need that in our lives. See.
Here's where it's beautiful. I mean, this is what we need to tell gun shops to sell to women now instead of snub nose revolvers. Because 5.7 will get the job done. Even they're not they're not gonna 5.7 will get the job done. It won't get the job done as well as 9mm, but it'll get the job done. As a home defense gun, you're not gonna reload it anyway. If it's just the emergency oh shit pistol. And it gives you more than 6 rounds to solve the issue, and it's simpler to operate.
Sorry, I saw something that was very upsetting.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about this off stream because I want to make sure this is correct before I bring this out into the ether because this is fucked up. So
Okay, I guess on that note, we better wrap it up.
I mean, before we do that, I just want everyone to know that I'm looking through my Twitter before I go anywhere. And besides this really fucked up thing that I found, everyone is saying the same thing, which is, "Hey, Socks, why didn't you wait till after the meet and greet before you fired Inez? Why did you wait until 2 hours before?" Like we get it, but like would have made things look a little less weird.
Suspect.
I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. What did you do, Inez? What did you do?
Oof.
Anyway. Those of you who do not know, this is our last week of the current intro. I will make something different in the next couple of days while I have time. The number one reason being the fact that Trump is in office on Monday. While that's going on, VTuber Katsudon will be live streaming while having the inauguration on in the background. He'll be live streaming the New World Order Alex Jones game.
Oh Lord.
Because when you're gonna go all in, you go all in.
Go all in.
You go all in. You go all in. You go all in. You can watch that on Rumble.
Fun.
And
Is he going to be doing a dramatic reading of My Hero Macadamia?
No, absolutely not. There's no dramatic reading there. He doesn't. I don't think he has the voice for dramatic readings. I think what he wants to do is other stuff. What the fuck? I don't even understand.
You're
All right.
obviously distracted.
I am. All right. I'm. This has been the Geek-Posium. We will see you guys next week. Well, we will do other things. If you like our show, please hit that like button, hit that heart button, hit that follow button, whatever button's there. Hit that button. You can go. Let us know.
I think it's a punch on Rumble.
I don't even know what it is on Rumble anymore because I think it's just a follow button. But I know that the punch is when you like something.
Oh yeah, that's the Rumble or whatever.
Yeah. So we will hope we'll go and see you guys next week. Where hopefully we'll have something better to talk about. Before I forget, Tales of Graces F, which is the remake of Tales of Graces, is out on the Switch. You can buy that right now. It is a wonderful game. If you never got a chance to play the Tales of Graces game, it is a fun, interesting storyline. And it's made by the same person who did Tales of Zillia.
Excuse me, Tales. Yes, Tales.
Tales of Zillia and Tales of Destiny. So yeah, I hope you guys have yourself a good one. Thank you, everybody, and have yourself a good night. Joe Biden for the last time. Take us out.